get it poppin'. Let's get it poppin'. Let's get it poppin'.
Good afternoon, folks. It's Freddie Vasquez. I'm back on really quick. I want to talk about the alleged assault. The majority leader, Tasha Diaz, reading this recent article, just came out today in the Yonkers Tribune. Although you heard it on Basement Politics first. Remember that. Yes. So Hezi from the Yonkers Tribune is talking about it. Tasha Diaz, the majority leader, and the allegations of assault. I mentioned it first on Basement Politics. I talked about it. No one else knew about it except for the sources, people close to the situation. And I went over to Jefferson Towers. I did a live there. And then as I was doing the live, she happened to be coming out. I respectfully waited till she finished speaking to a constituent, like she asked me to, because I've been accused of not being respectful, of following people into stores. I don't even know what that's about. Right. So I respectfully waited. I asked, and of course she denied. All right. Of course she denied. I mean, did we expect her to say, yeah, I beat this guy up, had him in a headlock and DDT'd him? Right. She said, no, there's cameras there. Although sources told me that police were investigating. Yonkers Tribune puts out an article today, right? It's the 10th. A physical assault allegedly took place last week between an elected Yonkers politician and their relative and the person to whom they are married. Allegations and assertions grew and grew to eclipse the initial telling. In fact, convoluted circumstances changed so rapidly, the story, his Torah line or whatever, and so-called integrity of facts were changing every syllable and by every witness, even those who claimed to be witness, yet corroborated proof was lacking. And I just want to talk about it, not so much about the gossip itself, but what's happening again with this Hezi guy and this Yonkers Tribune and those associated with him, right? Even those who claim to whatever. And that was the intent. Malign the so-called facts, confuse the police, refuse to press charges, and yet still feed the pontificators of their delight in concocting a deceitful tale of he said, she said, to bolster their individual lack of factual integrity. Look who's talking, while inundating the gullible to believe the histrionics. Yo, Hezi, please, can somebody tell Hezi to please, with all this extra words? It's not called for, Hezi. It doesn't make you any better of a writer, right? You're confusing. Their individual and collective conduct indicated of their plea for attention and relevance that continues to wane by their inability to comprehend what transpired. So what actually transpired, Hezi? While the altercation seemingly did take place, those who could or should have filed a complaint with the Yonkers Police Department have not. So he's saying that it took place. So this alleged assault did take place. However, what he's saying is that the individuals that should have filed the police report did not. Even so, YPD has chosen not to investigate despite the fact that some have claimed they were physically assaulted. Let's face it, YPD is not the judge or jury. Since an assault has been alleged, whether an elected official or not, why has the YPD chosen not to investigate? Yonkers may be best to remain deaf on the false narrative some will have you believe in, quote unquote news. Perhaps some was. It is now nothing more than a confusing attempt to cover up the instigators, perpetrators, and bearers of false witness to muddy that which did take place, right? So it took place. So this is regarding the alleged assault by the majority leader, Tasha Diaz. But what I want to mention, to me, what's important is that this guy is basically using his platform to try and to cover up for the majority leader, try and defend her. As a journalist, Hezi Aris, you're supposed to actually investigate and not simply attack people who say they were witnesses to it or those who are speaking about the allegations. Once again, the Yonkers Tribune is nothing more than a smear page, a smear campaign tool utilized by Zahi Jeris. Tasha Diaz herself, why do you think he's writing this in this manner? Because Tasha Diaz is behind this and he is defending her. And I'm not saying we need to find something and arrest her. What I'm saying is that we must be aware of this individual and other news, quote unquote. You see News 12, they don't care. They don't say much about Yonkers. There's so much there that they can speak about or report on it. They truly cared and they wanted to report real news. Yet they don't. And they leave it up to individuals like this guy. And that's why I'm here, but basement politics, right? To give you the information. So this is important because if the majority leader did assault someone, then maybe Liam McLaughlin needs to investigate that. Did Liam investigate? Is this being brushed under the carpet by elected officials, members of our government here in Yonkers, and even members of the police department? I'm not saying that is what's happening. I'm saying, is it happening? I mean, according to this article, the incident did take place. And I'm going to call the Yonkers Police Department and find out if I can get any information on exactly what happened, if they investigated, and if they did not investigate, why they chose not to investigate. I know when someone accused me of assault, they investigated, and that's how they determined that the individual was lying. So are they investigated? They determined that this was all a lie, or what's going on? And I think it's important that we find out. And so Hezi Aris, he wants to, try and make it a big nothing burger with his article here. And I wonder how many people actually read this Yonkers Tribune, how much impact he has. And this is not an attack on Tasha Diaz. This is not personal. It's not about Tasha Diaz. It's about our government, cleaning up our government, holding people accountable in our government. I just think that's important, right? We have to hold them accountable. So that's what I'm doing. That's what we do here at Basement Politics. Right? So we have to report these things. We have to let people know what's going on. So I don't know. I'm going to find out, see what's going on. Did you guys see that incident in the restaurant at the Lower East Side? 3 women were arrested. They just jumped over the counter. This is more of what I'm talking about, folks, that we're just not paying attention to what's going on. Crime is increasing. I don't know where this video went, but this woman right here.
So spoke with
This
some
is
of the
crazy.
parties involved and has the very latest.
This is America.
A wild scene inside Belle Fries on Ludlow Street early Sunday morning over the cost of dipping sauce. The situation quickly got out of control that the store alarm went off. Authorities say these 3 women seen in this video, Perla Ozaria, Chatara Placencia, and Tatiana Johnson, walked into the fast food joint at around 4 a.m. They placed their order, and according to the employees who were working at the time, the women wanted more sauce. The employees told them they would be charged $1.75, and that's when they say the women lost it. The video shows the women wrecking the place, jumping over the counter, tossing appliances, bottles of sauce, throwing everything and anything within reach at the workers. The suspects were taken into custody and now face.
Now you don't want to see yourself. You were just smiling in the camera.
On Friday, they appeared in court. The attorney for 23-year-old Tatiana Johnson says there is more to the story.
What the public has seen is a very, very limited piece of the information that's out there, and I believe once we get the full video,
that's enough, dude.
Story of what happened that evening, it's going to be a much different version, and Miss Johnson will be vindicated at the end of this case. There was more.
So that's crazy. These people went nuts over, having to pay for extra sauce. They jumped over the counter, and scenes like that have been happening a lot across America. Again, more of what I'm saying we need to be focusing on. There are issues where, we're just completely kind of ignoring. people across the country are going crazy. Cities across America are getting really bad with crime, death. Stores are being robbed. Did you see what happened on Central Avenue at the Chase? Somebody just broke open the ATM there, ripped it wide open. I mean, it looked like they needed like a pickup truck or something to do that. And they ripped it open, took out all the money, and took off. But that's desperation. I mean, we're headed for some serious hard times. And I'm like constantly like, guys, we need to start to talk about that. That needs to be more and more in the conversation that you're having, because we're all going to be impacted by that. And we're going to forget about everything else that we're fighting each other over now. Promise you that. But that's crazy, right? That's crazy. What's going on, folks? So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I wanted to just talk about that real quick and come back on because I wanted to make that a separate episode in regards to the majority leader and the assault on the Yonkers Tribune. There's an article there. He's saying that it happened. An incident did happen. However, that, people are making it out to be something that it's not. I guess you can't totally deny it, right? You can't say, oh, it didn't happen because it did. But now you just have to downplay it. Let's make it like it was no big deal. It's a family thing, whatever. Right? There's nothing happened. So I just don't understand, why that wasn't, people weren't discussing that more. I want to talk to the Yonkers police. I'm going to reach out, see if I can get some information, see what was the result of that. That's very important. If a politician, elected official, did assault someone, then they need to go to jail because anyone else would go to jail. Okay? They investigated when someone accused me of assault. They investigated, found out to be not true, but they investigated. So they should do the same. And I want to see what the result is with that. And Hezi, stop defending these people. At this point, we know, Hezi Aris from the Yonkers Tribune, that you are obviously being paid by Tasha Diaz, Nader Sayegh, Zahi Jerris. I'm not sure he's still with you guys, or did he abandon ship after he realized this shit is going down, right? We already know, Hezi. We know what you're doing. You totally are trying to make this about nothing. You didn't even report on it to begin with. As a journalist, you should have been reporting on those allegations. And then if it was nothing, then you can say that. After my, investigation and this, that, and the third, it was nothing. But you don't ever do that, right? You always protect Tasha. You always protect Nader, right? You always protect John Rubo. John's always going to, but you'll throw Breen under the bus. You'll throw the Caters under the bus. You're trying to throw me under the bus. Right. And even the Spanos, I see those low little undercut, I see him. Hezi, you're no good. You're compromised. I'm Freddie Vasquez. I'm up out of here. Folks, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I want to come on early because I'm going to relax tonight. I didn't want to have to come on. But please, again, we need to focus on what's going on. We got a lot of issues that are going to be bad. Economists are saying there's a 40% chance we will see a really bad recession. Hold on tight. Brace yourselves. We are in for a ride. I'm Freddie Vasquez, Basement Politics. Enjoy your rest of your Sunday. See you next week.
Let's get it poppin'. Let's get it poppin'.
Thank you, folks. That's your Basement Politics for Sunday. I did a 2-part series. I spoke about the majority leader and the allegations of assault. You can also check out the first episode, which is actually the full-length episode. I spoke about national global politics. What's going on? We're headed for war. We're headed for a great recession. The dollar is weakening. China and Russia are getting stronger and stronger. And everyone's laughing at the Americans fighting over every little thing, not realizing that our dollar is weakening, our economy is crashing, and we're losing our spot as the world-leading superpower. Our borders are wide open. Our country is being destroyed. And it's not about race. It's not about gender. It's about the 99% versus the 1%. I'm Freddie Vasquez. You'll say, I told you so one day.